Well, I got Georgia Peach 9 years ago. She's 11 years old. I rescued her from a poodle farm in Granger, Texas, and she had been an abused dog. Ever since I've had her, she's like a part of me. I love her. She loves me back, and you could tell she's a special type of dog.
Well, they're just like our daughters. They're part of the family, and we don't have an empty home anymore. We're another family of 4 like we used to be when we had our daughters at home with us.
Sit.
So now we have furry daughters.
Well, he's 20 years old, and he and I have been through a lot together. We've lost a dog. My husband's not in the best of health, and he's my companion and my crying buddy and my cuddle buddy. He's just a real lovable little cat.
And Puppy, he just came in at a good time, because my husband wasn't living then.
If it wasn't for the dog, for a lot of times he would go home. I would have to get rid of him. I have to come down there to the Humane Society to get put down.
He wouldn't get the quality of food he needs, and he's 20 years old, so good quality food is important to him. And I probably couldn't afford to keep him, and I would have to put him to sleep, because I don't think anybody would want to adopt a 20-year-old cat.
Well, I would probably be out spare changing. I'd do anything I had to do, get up, try to find some work or something, so I can provide and get him something to eat, because he's my child. He's not an animal to me, and he has to eat and stay healthy and all. So it's just no other places you get food from, they don't have this program for animals. And I think it's a blessing. Whoever came up with this idea is great. It's wonderful.
I had this idea for a pet food bank, but I didn't have any knowledge of how to execute it. Little did I know, Terry Woodfin was writing a letter to the editor of the Star-Telegram.
In 2008, we were having a severe economic crisis where people were losing their homes, leaving their pets behind, and having to live in cars. Our shelters and rescue groups were so overwhelmed that it was in the news daily. So I wrote a letter to the editor of the Star-Telegram, which the executive director of Tarrant Area Food Bank responded to. My question was, why did we not have a pet food bank? He said, we actually take pet food. And so I called him, and he said, I have met someone, talked with her, and I think the two of you need to get together. That was really the beginning. Kim and I did not know each other.
So Don't Forget to Feed Me was founded in the fall of 2008, but by 2010, we had grown and developed to the point where we could set out on our own and become our own nonprofit organization with distribution partners around the DFW area.
We distribute to those partners, and then they take the pet food and in turn give it to their clientele. It's a very efficient way for us to get the food straight to the hands of the pet owners that need it without having to do a lot of the logistics ourselves. We went right in straight into the communities, into these organizations that were already doing a wonderful job serving people in need.
We also have 2 other programs apart from distributing food to local food banks. One program is called Home Not Alone, and that is where we have partnered with local senior centers in Tarrant County. I think it touches a lot of people's hearts because they know that for senior citizens, that pet may be their only regular companion. Being able to provide that food for their pet and not having to worry about it financially gives them peace of mind and allowing them to keep that companion at home with them. The other program that we have is called the Maverick Fund.
A Maverick was a beloved pet of one of our longtime volunteer families. And in his honor, we set aside some funds to go to families in direct crisis needs.
So the Maverick Fund supplies pet comfort kits to the American Red Cross DFW chapter. And currently those are on all of their response vehicles. So when they roll up to a scene and there's a family struggling with a dog or a cat or maybe even both, they have some supplies that they can give that family.
The first time that I realized we were making a real difference in this community was when I was working an event and a client came up to me. It was a homeless man. He was there with his dog. He came up to me to thank me for what we do so that he could feed his pet and that he could also feed himself. He didn't have to share his food because there was no way he was getting rid of that dog. That dog was his family. That dog was his only family. That was the first moment I realized that what we do makes a real difference in this community.
Getting the support from the community, knowing that what we thought would take 5 years to be able to stand on our own feet, and we did it in 14 months. Huge aha moment. The community was overwhelmingly behind us, and I knew right away we could save thousands of animals. That was the biggest.
I keep doing this because the more we do, the more we're known, the more others come on board. We had more donation sites. We're always on the lookout for that next distribution partner. There's a need. There's always going to be a need. And that dog or cat has no say in where his meal comes from. It's people. We say we're a social service. Sure, it's really for the people, but deep down it's really for the pets. So until there's no need for us, we'll be here. That's what keeps me coming back.
Without Don't Forget to Feed Me, lots of us wouldn't be able to keep our pets.
There's not other organizations out there to help people with their pets. And I really appreciate it, and I thank you very much.
On behalf of our dogs, Daisy Mae and Minnie Faye, we would like to thank the generous and kind donors that helped the program stay afloat, and it means a lot to our family. And without you, I don't know what we'd do. Thank you very much. Your kindness and your generosity are blessings to many.